What is going on, everybody? It is Frankie here, and yes, I am back in the flesh to give you my full NFL predictions for Week 15. Sorry that it's been a few weeks, haven't been on camera. A lot of stuff has been going on, but all that is behind me. I'm now ready to give you on camera my predictions for Week 15, as it is now December. We are getting closer and closer to the playoffs. A lot of excitement in the NFL, a lot of controversy, a lot of drama. Let's get to all of it here in Week 15. We start with the Chargers and Raiders. The Raiders are 3-point favorites. I'll just say there's a lot of games right here that I'm just going to breeze through because they're not very exciting. This is one of them here. Chargers might be without Herbert. They got blown up by Denver today. The Raiders lost the game 3-0. That's not a baseball score. That is a football score. I guess I'll go with the Raiders because they're at home and I'm not sure about Herbert. So give me the Raiders -3. The Vikings and the Bengals. The Bengals are 4-point favorites. A battle of backup quarterbacks. I know Cincinnati destroyed Indianapolis. For some reason, I'm taking Minnesota here. I don't know why. I'm not. I mean, yeah, it was a solid performance from Jake Browning, but I don't know. Something tells me in this game that I know Josh Downs got benched, but I don't know. I'm feeling something weird about this game. Give me the Vikings +4. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are 2.5-point favorites. Pittsburgh's offense has looked atrocious. I mean, back-to-back terrible games from Pittsburgh. Over 500, and then they lose to two teams that got a combined 4 wins. Just dreadful. Indianapolis got beat down by Cincinnati. Rough game for them. I'll go with the Colts here. I think they're a little bit better put together. I'll give me the Colts here, -2.5 at home. The Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions. The Lions are 4-point favorites. Who would have thought that this game would be a game between two potential playoff teams in October? After the Jets lost, who would have thought Denver would still be in this position? But they have played great. This defense has really stepped it up. Got to give a lot of credit to Vance Joseph. He has really turned this team around here. Since week 6, they have 18 takeaways and have allowed 12 touchdowns in those 8 games combined. So credit to Vance Joseph. 6 sacks today for Denver. Limited the Chargers to 171 yards. They look great. Russell Wilson has looked good. Denver has really stepped it up here and improved. Great game from Michael Cortland Sutton. 10 touchdowns on the year, including an insane one-handed catch. Then you have Detroit, who is free-falling right now. They're really just struggling here. A couple bit bad losses. Another slow start for this team. They've trailed at the end of the first quarter in 3 of its last 4 games. Really struggles here against Chicago. Chicago, give them credit. They've won 3 out of the last 4. They're looking better here. But Detroit trying to get their first 10-win season in almost a decade and not being able to pull it off here. Just a lot of struggle. The defense really looked rough. Fields was having his way with them. He ran for 58 yards. He threw for 223 yards. Goff turning the ball over a bunch. Now Lions fans wondering, do we want to give him that big contract at the end of the year with all the turnovers he's given? I'm going to take the Lions here in this game. I know it's risky because Denver is the hot team right now, but I don't think Detroit is this bad. I think they're going to step it up here in this game. They're going to be at home, and I think they're going to use that as an advantage here. Lions win this one -4. It's going to be a fun, exciting game, but give me Detroit -4 over the Broncos. The Chicago Bears and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are 3-point favorites. Bears coming off a big win against Detroit. Cleveland, how about Cleveland right now? 4 different quarterbacks have won games for them this year. I believe that is an NFL record. And this 4th one was 38-year-old Joe Flacco, who on Sunday became the first Browns quarterback since Brian Sipe in 1980 to throw 3 touchdown passes of 30 yards or more in a game. He's really helped the Cleveland offense here. His big arm, it's like, where was this Joe Flacco for the last 10 years? If Joe Flacco had been like this for, in 2016, 17, 18, they would have had no need to draft Lamar Jackson. But, he's really stepped it up here. Nice win today over Jacksonville. Good game by the defense, even though they gave up 27 points. Made some big plays at the end to seal the win. I'm going to roll with the Browns here. It's just a hotter team. And yes, Fields has been playing better. The Bears have looked good, but liking the Browns here. I'm rolling with them. Give me the Browns -3. I think the offense continues to step up. And maybe it's bad for me to trust Joe Flacco to win another game here, but I'm doing it here. Give me Cleveland -3. The Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. The Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites. The Chiefs are free-falling right now. They're mentally falling apart. For Mahomes and Reed to complain about that Kadarius Toney offsides when it was clearly offsides, to me, showed a team that is losing it mentally. They are frustrated. The receivers are dropping every pass in sight. Terrible penalties. And yes, that was a great play by Travis Kelce that would have given them the winning touchdown, but it didn't count. And it shouldn't have counted because he was offsides, okay? For Kansas City to complain about that was bizarre, and it really made me kind of lose a little bit of respect for Mahomes. I'll get over it eventually, but I was just really disappointed with him. And yeah, this Chiefs team, and he threw a terrible interception in this game. Chiefs really not. This is not the Chiefs offense that we expected. They have been very disappointing, especially the receiving core right now has been a big issue with this team. And yes, they're playing sloppy right now, a bunch of penalties, but they should win this game because they're going up against New England. They should be pulling this off here. There's no reason for them. And yes, New England did beat Pittsburgh. Well done there, but you are still a far better team than them. If you lose this game, then we need to have major concerns. This team right now is a game ahead of Denver in the AFC West. So you're not, I don't think the team's going to miss out on the playoffs, but you better win this one. This is not time to fool around. Fix whatever issues you have, solve it. And I mean, I guess you can't fix the receiving core, but you cannot lose this game. You cannot afford to let Denver creep up on you in the AFC West there. But I expect them to win here in this game. I expect this team is too talented to look this bad, especially against a pretty weak New England team. Give me the Chiefs minus 9.5 over the Patriots. The Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. The Falcons are 3-point favorites. Both teams coming off losses. Atlanta, a tough loss there against Tampa Bay. Carolina just getting destroyed by New Orleans. Give me the Falcons here minus 3 in the terrible, terrible NFC South. The Washington Commanders and the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are 6.5-point favorites. I'm going to roll with the Commanders coming off a bye here. Difficult loss for the Rams. That was a gut punch. Scoring 31, not enough. But I'm going to roll with the Commanders here on the road. I think that I like these teams off a bye to get something. So give me the Commanders plus 6.5. The San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. The Niners are 14-point favorites. Folks, I think it is pretty clear, especially after the last few weeks, it's pretty clear who the best team in football is. San Francisco 49ers have looked amazing. They're beat down to the Eagles. That was an unbelievable victory. Deebo Samuel has looked amazing the last couple of weeks. Brock Purdy, it's him or Dak for MVP right now. And I'm going back and forth on which one it is. It might come down to who wins the most games, but Purdy has really started to shed the dink and dunk baggage that he had, the perception of him. 18 for 26, 368 yards, 2 touchdown passes, or just only 1 interception, which, whatever. And yes, 4 touchdowns last week against Philly. So he's had 7 touchdowns in 2 weeks. He's looking like an unbelievable quarterback right now. He's really stepped it up in big ways, and I'm loving watching this kid play. Again, Deebo Samuel's looking great. Defense is really stellar. This looks like an awesome team right now, but I am taking Arizona because 14 points is a big number, and the Cardinals are coming off a bye, and they are at home. So I do think the Niners win this one comfortably, but I think Arizona, maybe with the backups in, score a late touchdown to cover the spread. Give me the Cardinals plus 14, but give me the Niners to win the game over there in Arizona. The Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are a 1.5 favorite. I don't really agree with this one here. Dallas just came off, I guess because Buffalo's at home, so they'll give Buffalo the edge, but Dallas is coming off a insane performance, a sensational outing against the Philadelphia Eagles. Rough go for the Eagles here. We'll get to them in a second, but man, this is the kind of performance that if you're a Cowboys fan, this is the kind of performance that makes you think, all right, we're here. A performance to shut everybody up and say, all right, pay attention to us. Because I have been very critical of Dallas in the way, all right, show me what you can do in the postseason. And I still feel that way. But this was the kind of game that made me really, really impressed with them and made me think maybe this year is different. Now, I can't really believe that until the playoffs come around, but Dak is playing as well as he's ever played. He's making a great case for MVP right now. The offense is explosive, 33 points. They just look, and yes, I know a lot of their wins have been against bad. In their big winning streak, only one of those was against a winning opponent. And Seattle was only 6-5 at the time. But the Eagles arguably were the best team in the NFL, and they came into this game and they got destroyed by this Dallas team. And also shout out to Brandon Aubrey, who, what has he made? 30 straight kicks? He's looked insane. And yeah, this whole Cowboys team, just front to back, incredible performance from them. Offensively, defensively. Arguably, they have the best quarterback in the NFL right now in Dak, and arguably the best defensive player in the league in Micah Parsons. So great win out of them. Buffalo, they needed this victory. This is the kind of game that Buffalo has usually blown this season. A lot of games like this where Buffalo usually loses, but not in this case. They get the win, kick the field goal at the end, and are able to survive the Kadarius Toney with the stupid penalty. So they needed that victory. They got it. But I just think Dallas is way better right now. I think Dallas is so much better right now, and I think this is the kind of game. I'm actually believing in Dallas. This might be a mistake, but I did pick Philadelphia last week. I'm like, okay, that will be the letdown game. It didn't happen. So I'm going to trust Dallas, and I might come back next week and go, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but I'm going to roll with Dallas. I'm going to roll with the Cowboys. I'm going to roll with Dak. They look too good right now, and I expect them to beat up on Buffalo. Give me the Cowboys plus 1.5 to pull off the upset against the Bills. The Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Ravens are 3.5-point favorites. What a win that was today for the Ravens. Game of the week against the Rams, 37-31. Tylan Wallace, the game-winning 76-yard punt return in overtime to give Baltimore the win. And they continue right now to be the number 1 seed in the AFC, although the Dolphins can get it back if they beat Tennessee tomorrow night. So we'll see how that goes there. Lamar continues to look great. 3 touchdown passes, team leading 70 yards rushing. Great game for Isaiah Likely, replacing Mark Andrews. Likely with 83 yards, including a 54-yard touchdown pass in the game. That was big. Baltimore just looks so great right now, especially on the offensive side. Jaguars, I'm shocked that, you had Lawrence playing in this game here today. They were without Christian Kirk, and that seemed like that was a big issue. Lawrence and his receivers were just not on the same page for most of this game. Losing a tough one there to Cleveland. Good game for Evan Ingram, but if Evan Ingram is your number 1, I think that's going to be an issue going forward. Pass rush could not get to Joe Flacco. They're going to be at home for this one, but Baltimore right now is a machine. They are arguably, I think they're the best team in the AFC. Right now, if I had to pick, I'd say they're going to be the team that gets the Super Bowl out of the AFC. And I say in this instance, they will roll over Jacksonville. Give me not roll over. I think they'll win. I think they'll win this one by 7, but that'll be enough to get them the win and cover the spread. Give me the Ravens -3.5. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. The Eagles are 4.5-point favorites. Is it time to panic in Philadelphia? I say no. But this is an issue. This is an issue when you have the Eagles struggling like this, when you have the offense continue to not get out of the gate strong, when you have the defense struggling in the red zone, struggling on 3rd down. You have an easy schedule going near the end of the year. So, but that has to start with Monday night. You have to beat Seattle to be able to do that. But when you go up against 2 of the best teams in the NFC and you get trounced in both games, and one of those games is at home, that is an issue. That's a problem. This is not the same Eagles team that we've been seeing here over the first half of the season. I think the Eagles will be fine, but that was a rough loss at a team that looks like they've come back down to earth here. Kind of like the stretch the Niners had in the middle of the year. We're like, oh, maybe the Niners aren't that good, and then they bounce back. I expect the Eagles to bounce back here in this game. And DeAndre Swift's also really struggling here, just a non-factor last night. But I expect them to bounce back. I expect them to stack up. Seattle, they lost today against San Francisco. Although I will say, I don't know if Drew Lock is the guy. I mean, I saw some people say, oh, maybe Drew Lock, he'll replace Geno. I don't know how that's going to be. I don't think he looked that great, but losing there to San Francisco today, I expect another win here for Philadelphia. Even if Geno is playing, it'll be a fun home field advantage there for Seattle, but I don't think it'll be enough to overcome the dominance of the Philadelphia Eagles. I expect them to step up, bounce back. Give me the Eagles -4.5 over Seattle. Giants and Saints. The Saints are 6-point favorites, and I'll just get this one easy. I expect the Saints here. They beat up on Carolina yesterday. The Giants played tonight against Green Bay. I don't really care what the Giants do going forward. I expect the Saints to win this one at home easily. Give me the Saints -6. That's it for now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to this channel and you'd like to see, make sure you subscribe down below. I'll be back tomorrow to break down Bucks, Packers, Texans, Titans, and Jets, Dolphins. 3 of those teams play on Monday night, so I'm going to wait until those games are over. I really didn't care about Giants, Saints because that game doesn't really mean anything to me anyway. But the other 3, I will have my picks for tomorrow night. I will see you guys then. Take care, and God bless.